The scene is set for Perth by Night. Some of the higher ups of the court of Perth have begun to assemble a few people. Sheriff Salvador should be looking over the documentation, a fairly detailed report on where they think the Nagaraja is getting their blood. They seem to have a somebody working for them, or it might be completely unconnected, but seems a bit odd if it was unconnected. McKay's funeral parlor seemed to have a bit of trouble a couple of months back. They got sued over something minor, but it damaged their finances a little bit. But then things started to go better for them. Things started to go well for them, and they've got a lot of process. And although some of the files have been missing, and at a regular point throughout the week, some of the video footage disappears or is edited. Every Saturday night, somebody comes collected. When we went back far enough, this Archer, a Tremere neonate, seems to have identified and has some stills of a individual, supposedly, potentially, of the Samedi bloodline. He certainly looks like a zombie. Who in this one has loaded the back of a van down with 3 bodies. I have them due for creation. And it includes, if Salvador is interested looking over it, that yes, 70% of funerals in Perth are cremations. So he obviously had to go through a lot of different funeral parlors that did cremations, but this guy seems to have shit together. Whatever the sheriff thinks of that in future, just to give credit where credit is due. And, well, where does the sheriff want people to gather for the good old lynch mob?
I think the trench is becoming our traditional preparation spot.
Well, everyone, the rules aren't as formal because this isn't a social occasion. However, people will be told to be on their behaviour, especially since the sheriff will be here. And yeah, you might not have the trench rule necessarily holding you back on this occasion, but his fist might put you down if you step out of place. So I think we can assume that everyone who is here is already inside the trench.
Yes.
Oh, nothing. Just figured I'd remind people I'd like to at least have one of them left alive to question.
It's a good thing that you told me that, because I wasn't going to exactly plan on it.
Oh, Jesus. How many people are here?
A lot.
It's a good old-fashioned...
Nosferatu Primogen appearing out of nowhere?
No. He knows better at this stage. I imagine he'll have rung ahead if he doesn't want everybody barreling out thinking there's a somber coming down them.
Oh, yeah.
But once Zerfat gets the text from him, he'll turn off the motion sensors and go to the door. A few months later, allowing the newly minted Senescal in.
Sorry, guys, I'm just late.
Don't worry, you're in the favor that I gave you.
Situation right now? Is it only the... How many of this Nagaraja that we should worry about?
Good question. 1 second here. I'm going to make a phone call. And, Leon's calling the number he's got for
Yep.
Nazgul. It's like,
The ghoul will answer. Hello?
this is Leon. We're actually ready to go against the Nagaraja. Does your Domitor know how many of them there are?
One moment, I will ask him, and then you hear him saying something. He says that there is at least one, possibly more. If it is one, they are very skilled at necromancy for someone he does not suspect to be of Elder Age, but they are quite skilled as a necromancer. You cannot speak for other disciplines.
All right. So, any other? We are going out. We've managed to at least track down one location. We can expect some of them to be at. And if you wish, if he wishes to provide us with direct aid, I'm certain we would. That would be appreciated. But if
He says if you can provide him with a precise location, perhaps if one of your servants gives me GPS coordinates, I could interpret those for him. And he could help send, like, you know, his pauses as he's talking, is like he could send some of his other servants to divert the attention of those he might find more difficult to challenge due to their incorporeal nature.
actually sounds like a good idea. 1 second, he actually, pulls out his dossier and then says, "I'll be right back." Heads outside. He did have one of his, or heads into the ghoul room because he did have one of his ghouls come with him. Basically said, he says, "Can you look up the exact GPS coordinates?"
Bear in mind, this is a location that they're picking up bodies from. This isn't their base, and the dagger has not been seen.
Oh, yeah, no, that said, a couple of ghosts there will probably help. Yeah, it's like, if you can give, it's like, basically just go, hey, can you give me these things so I can, actually here, figure out where this is, talk to him. It's like,
Yeah, okay. The two ghouls are coordinating, and he's trying to figure out where the goddamn. He's like, you didn't tell me to look this up beforehand.
if,
So
and,
that
I'll give them the dossier so they've got the, the details we've got, so.
So do we know about the Samedi right now?
Yes, I've got documentation. I loaded in the call.
Okay, can you please tell me what is the difficulty?
difficulty
Kevin?
8.
Oh, that's right. I should probably roll for that myself.
3 successes. 4 successes. Kindred 4.
There is a for the sheriff. Actually, the prince also got this in the documentation because he got a full copy as well. Frozen documentation does say that sometimes Samedi are known to have skill at necromancy. But let's see, and hired themselves out as bodyguards. Well, how many successes for Gregor?
4.
4, and for the prince?
4.
Okay, you guys both know they'll often hire themselves as enforcers or muscles. There have actually been some Samedi Archons at different points. They're a bloodline, but actually, as bloodlines go, they're actually pretty populous. They're associated with voodoo. Aren't as a bloodline allied to any particular sect. But it is known to you they have an unusual discipline. And this allows them to manipulate and make things rot, or so you've heard. It's kind of disturbing as you look at it, although you might find it interesting. But the disciplines of their blood are this unique discipline, which you don't know the name for, fortitude and obfuscate.
Do we have Allspex Monkey with us?
Hi, I am Auspex Monkey.
We've got a couple.
Sorry, my prince. Sorry.
It's
And hello, Hannah.
you were considering if it did turn out to be a Samedi.
They will have fortitude. That's
If it's a Samedi, can't think of any reason why they would decide to try and mess with the people at the top of the nearby city. So honestly, doesn't make a lot of sense.
So, if it truly is one, my prince, do you know what kind of powers they apply with the blood?
Now, the Samedi also necromancers to a degree, as I understand. They also have a discipline that allows them to rot things. So, including us. So if it is a Samedi, there's that to worry about. If it's not a Samedi and it's a Nagaraja, well, there's still necromancy to worry about.
Simply wondering about the physical disciplines, if they have ghouls with them.
Fortitude, I believe.
Always fun.
Well, there's always a way through that.
Usually.
Yeah, there is.
Copious amounts of force.
Awesome. Delicate usage of our own
Right.
gifts.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, shall we get this show on the road? We have a target. It is somebody currently loading bodies that we believe to be working. All these individuals that aren't exactly popular with it. We need a live question.
Nah, let's go. Fucking do it.
You good? How many of you people brought pitchforks?
I didn't never use pitchforks no more since I don't own a farm no more.
Right, everyone is tooled up and ready. This is going to be a nice, smooth little grab. I'm not too sure what the situation is going to be like when we get there, but we have to do the usual cut-off avenue to escape, grab the bastard. I want a stake on each and every one of you.
Done. Okay. Oh,
Now, this is just me being a stick in the mud, but what do we know about the grounds of this particular address? I mean, is it connected to the city? Is it more rural? Does it have fences?
This
Does it
is in
have
the
very
middle
close
of an
entrances?
urban area.
Okay.
It's not it's not a residential area, but there's quite a lot of businesses and things, which some of these would actually be open around this time.
Alright, so we got a little bit of grace from that. The kind may not be actively looking at it, but still a consideration. That being said, when we get there, possibly the first priority should be closing out any exits, any escape routes. Now, I know that may be fairly easy above ground, but below ground, where other people tend to hold their domain, that might be a little bit more difficult, seemingly because it's something we can't see.
Might I point out, this one does need to be taking up Haven there, and he'll show the photos around. He seems to be coming in at regular times during the week, but he seems to always come by at some point during Saturday night, so it's still early enough in the night. He's not making Haven there. If we get him, we get him, might be able to question him. The question is, do you want to take that approach, or do we want to possibly have somebody using high levels of auspex or with animalism Tracking.
I
Tracking the individuals he leaves.
If my prince wishes so, I could get a scoop into the place before we go marching in there with torches, pitchforks, and whatever the hell we have around.
No, that actually does make sense.
Torches, pitchforks, fully automatic shotguns. You know, the usual.
Oh yeah.
Questions, please.
Good for you, Sheriff.
Is this
Yes,
a
but
night-
it's...
Is this business open during the night time? Is this a crematorium? Is this a funeral house? Tell me what I'm looking at.
It is a funeral house, but it has a crematorium as part of it.
Is it open during the night?
It would have some people. There could be a funeral going on tonight. You don't know.
Fantastic. I want to attend that funeral.
You don't know. There could be a funeral.
I want to attend that funeral.
First, you should check to see if there is one.
Can I roll my contact to see if there's a funeral going on there?
You do know you could just get somebody with their best semi-depressed relative voice and say, my uncle Sam, he passed away a couple of days ago. I need to organise a quick. But how busy are you? Just kind of chat to them and find out what they're up to.
I like that approach. Good thinking, Salvador. I think I can. Oh, whoa. Oh, woe is me, the slings and arrows that I must partake of such an unholy adventure, that I should outlast my own child.
Right. Everyone got their own transport and stuff ready?
Yes.
Somebody want to go ahead and help me out with that particular issue of transport?
You can ride with me.
Yay!
I've got to.
My friends promised you this before.
Promised me. Oh, right. Sure. You can ride with me and Lev.
Thank you.
Right, ladies. I have a couple of things to go through with all of you before we get started. For those of you that haven't done one of these little runs with me before, this is a nice, all-together, one big, happy family run. Everyone is looking after everybody else. If I start seeing people calling in boons and favors and all those little bits just to do what they're fucking meant to be doing, I will shove my foot so far up your arse you'll be chewing on boot leather. You all got it.
Mhm.
Hannibal smiles and that. Like that, man.
Now, I am suggesting, like I said before, we need a couple of escape routes. We need a couple of people in the sewers. Everyone else with me to cover up the top will come into the building from pretty much all the directions. Nice and easy. Cover all the bits. Unless they got like flying bikes, we shouldn't have to worry about an air escape.
I think
I'd like to
this is...
volunteer for watching out the escape route, seemingly because you have Mr. Victor over there to do the heavy hitting.
I think this is where I might come in handy to watch exactly that and give you, well, a message in your head when I see anything moving out there where it shouldn't be moving out. I'm not really that good at analog, to be honest.
Right. And who's on the team actually go and grab this bitch besides me?
Well, I'm willing to help if that's the approach you want to take.
Good. I think I'd rather actually take the guy down rather than... You know, there's too much that can go wrong for a little bit of a following call. But it's got its upsides and downsides, my prince. If we went for a stealthy follow him up, a large group like this will be difficult. We could potentially find where his employers, that we assume, are hiding. If we just capture him, we have to go through the rigmarole of questioning and interrogation and all that bits and pieces.
Well, I'm fairly certain that we have two people here who can, unless he has very high levels of auspex, that can track him down quite some ways.
Yes. So either those, either one of those bloodlines don't usually have auspex, I take it.
Not certain about the disciplines of the Nagaraja.
Let me double check that.
Difficulty 9 for Nagaraja under disciplines.
8 for me. Yeah! 2 successes.
And the disciplines that are native to their blood are Auspex, Dominate, and Necromancy. Lovely.
Well, we're not lucky. They have all specs, also dominate.
Or better than them being able to run away very, very fast.
Well,
Other than... Actually, that actually lends some credence to the idea that they were originally mortal sorcerers.
Let's save those side sessions for a later time.
Yeah.
so this might be like the Regency Hotel incident, if it's a Najaraya.
Here's a question. I assume we already know the particular neighborhood that we're going to, that we need to go ahead and storm. Would I know about any of the creatures or the animals about in that particular neighborhood?
It's an urban area. There'd be dogs, there'd be cats and things.
Okay.
There'd be some
Cool.
pigeons, that kind of stuff.
Alright. Well, then I know what I'm going to focus on when we get there. Seemingly because I want to use the local animals rather than anything else.
Yep.
So, are we leaving now?
Definitely.
Yep.
Then let's go. Mr. Salvador, I would like to, if you don't want to leave Prince alone, I must, or if you want me near you, I will be with you.
I can look after myself. If you go and look after the prince, it should be good.
Yes. And worst comes to worst, Lev has some useful skills.
Oh, does anyone still need a lift?
Oh, if you got a free spawn, I don't mind.
Let us be on our way, cowpoke.
Alright, great, let's go.
Okay. So, Arfat will drop off Dr. Doolittle a little bit away, make sure he has his number, and leave Dr. Doolittle to go speak with a few animals.
Yeah. Dr. Doolittle is basically just going to go ahead and see if he can't find the local population of, let's go with cats, actually, for this one. Tabby cats, feral cats, just see them all together in one dumpster pack and sort of talk to them saying, okay guys, this is what I need you to do. Watch out, building, that building over there, watch out. People coming out, report.
Roll.
Good.
I'm not giving it to you.
Hope you brought snacks.
I think it's...
But he's just by himself as I have him fight a swarm of cats. And there's somebody driving down the road and you just see this gangrel frenzy with cats all over him, just like, nope.
I'll go ahead and perform feral whispers, manipulation, animalkin, spend a willpower on this one. It's an oddly good roll with 4 over there.
Yeah. Yeah. They keep coming back to you. There's lots of people, but we'll get back to you in a while.
Yep.
Rafat is with Salvador. Is anybody else with Salvador?
No, I don't think so.
Initially, Nero would rendezvous with Salvador and then continue on his way, just so he knows that I'm here and I'm going in.
Okay. Where is Hannibal?
Hannibal is taking a ride with Mr. Dead Donovan.
But where are you going once you arrive?
Oh, I'm gonna go into astral projection.
He stayed in the car. So
Okay,
just
where are you going while you're astral projecting?
Into the building. I
Okay.
am looking for. Activities, people in there.
Yep. Obviously, Rafat is picking up another member of his clan along the way, and Dr. Doolittle's coterie, and we'll say that she's with him. With Dr. Doolittle, that is, talking to cats. Where is Mr. Creed?
With friends.
Where's the prince?
Alright, so what I'm likely going to do is drive into the general area, have my ghouls drive into the general area, and then also astrally project right out to the crematorium. And of course let Creed know what's going on. It's like, look, if a fight breaks out, go ahead and join it. But if you're wanting to just guard me, I would appreciate that.
Okay, I will guard your buddy.
Okay. Let's see. Don't get anything. And okay, Bagger is going in first. So, what exactly is Bagger saying when he comes in? You can see there is a funeral in full swing.
There is an actual funeral in full swing.
Yeah.
I think I will try to go up. Is there a man at the front desk, or is there not patron, just a man? And it's just the intending and making sure no one's supposed to be going in and shuffling people.
Sorry, I could not make that out. Sorry, you're a bit too quiet there.
Oh, perfect. Is there a man holding people at the door to the funeral?
Well, no, there's kind of a man ushering people towards there. You can see the funeral area is fairly clear, and you're almost being kind of bustled along with the people. Meanwhile, there are cats all the way around outside. They're just running around it because they haven't told to be subtle. Meow, meow, and they're just like it's almost as if they show up and then they run away again. There's just a stream of cats straight to Dr. Doolittle because they're
And
cats.
then
They're,
Moon shows up and chases.
They would normally have gotten lazy, except for he got 4 successes. So they haven't gotten lazy.
This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep my head down low, and take a seat in the back and just try to blend in for a bit, and not try to call any particular attention. And then I'm going to pop my aspects to see if there are any pale auras around.
Roll.
love me some more specs.
I got a lot of it around.
What do you want me to roll?
Perception, empathy, prospect.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you wanted me to roll the aspects.
Normal. It's normal perception empathy roll for checking auras. Difficulty 7.
Okay, 3. And I'll spend a willpower point in this.
Matt's just gonna shrug for some
Only
reason
ones
as he
with-
takes a look at Hannibal while he's seemingly unconscious next to him.
Oh,
against
no
Paul.
successes.
Yeah.
You botched.
I spent a
Oh
willpower
yeah, no, yeah. You spent willpower. Good, because otherwise it'd be like, oh, it's totally the priest.
Oh, in which case you got 1 success.
Yeah.
I want to take away from the willpower.
There's no kindred here. There's no kindred. There's no ghouls. I'll leave you guys to update in the side chat. Fat and Salvador are probably going to be keeping an eye on the back entrance, though a bit away.
Right. Just look like, normal people.
Yeah. So, after a little while, the two folks astrally projecting. Oh, yes, actually, Dr. Doolittle does definitely have one of the castings. Oh, there's something horribly wrong. It was unnatural. There's some horrible creature there. That's all.
Okay, so the cat comes back to me and says, horrible, horrible, unnatural creature.
Yes.
Where does it say it?
Oh, it went in the front door. Give me a intelligence animal ken roll as it starts to describe the person.
Okay. No. 5 dice. Rolling. 1 success.
Could be Bagger. It might not be. You're not sure. Unfortunately, he probably doesn't have animalism, so it would see him as horrible and unnatural. Now, the two astrally projecting fellows, would they like to roll?
Oh, yeah.
And Salvador and Rafat can also. I just won't bother because it's PC. Unless everybody else fails. Perception alertness.
Okay. Perception alertness. I would like to turn on my Auspex heightened sense, but I don't think I can anymore. Yeah, I would like to do that for hearing.
Minimum difficulty 3.
Yeah.
So
Hearing will not help with this. Well, not really.
Oh, okay. Well then.
It's more of a sight-based thing.
Oh,
Well, if insightful helps, I've got 6. Otherwise, I've got 5.
I got 3. Jesus fucking Christ! I need to take a specialty.
Well, 6 minus 5 is 1, so this is an extra 2 successes to my roll. So,
Okay.
5.
And you guys are all noticing a van pulls up. A man hops out. Kind of whistling a little jaunty tune. Goes up to the door, takes out some keys, unlocks the door. He kind of pulls it aside, and he puts a cinder block nearby, opens the door to keep it open, and he walks inside.
All right. Well, I'm going to. Can I make a roll to see through Mask of the Thousand if that guy has it up?
Oh yeah, totally, go for it. It's difficulty 5 for you.
Alrighty.
Can we all make that roll?
You can, if you have appropriately high aspects, which is going to need to be at least.
Hannibal would also have that, so.
I got 3 successes.
Oh my god, the ones are killing me. 3 successes as well.
Everybody who succeeded can see through. Yeah, it's the guy from the photos. He's just whistling as he goes along. Opens up one of the nearby rooms with keys in the same chain, and then, well, you've already seen through his obfuscate, so you don't have a problem. Salvador, you no longer have line of sight of him, but the two astral projection people can see him. He's completely obfuscated now, but he just picks up 2 of the bodies, complete ease, and just walks back towards the car.
Okay.
Oi, mate, you got a light. My light is broken.
Okay, you're walking up to him.
Well, I'm just calling them now.
Back at Dr. Doolittle first. Lots of them. There's lots of horrible creatures.
Okay. Yeah, god damn it. Okay. Fix it.
One of them was really long. It looked like rotted in the day, but was still walking along.
Yeah. Just keep telling me that. Fix it.
Yep.
Watch my body. Assume the spirit. Okay, what role is that?
So you rolled for that. Meanwhile, Salvador's trying to approach this guy. Hey, actually, well, he's completely obfuscated. When you go into, you got to make to see who is obfuscated again.
But you want me to roll again?
Oh, well, actually, you've already seen through it, so yeah. Okay, you have to roll initiative. Because he's completely obfuscated, You have to have Auspex 3 in, or therefore he hopes, dear God, you're not a ghoul. That'd be even worse. It's like a fucking 6th-gen ghoul. It's like, oh, fuck this. That Harbinger Skulls is a lot harder than we thought he was.
Nice.
So rolling on.
That's a dex. Sorry, just looking at my character sheet. Gorgeous on the wrong page.
Go ahead.
I do erase that page I put up or something. I'm 11. That puts me on 18.
You're actually just barely beating him. So, for his action, other people ask your projections, so you can't interact. So
But I would like to read the guy's mind, though.
Guess what? We have telepathy, and in certain ways we can interact.
You can roll your telepathies. Yeah. Well, for his action,
Let's see here.
he is going to reduce. I'm going to reduce his dice pool a little bit, but he's going mostly defensive. But he's reducing his dice pool because he's sending a text message, and then he's crushing the phone.
Hint and subterfuge is the roll.
So Salvador gets to react before he does this stuff. Going to send a message and crush the phone.
Okay.
You're dropping the body. It's like, fuck. You didn't know he's completely off screen, but it's like, oh, fuck. He shouldn't be able to see me.
So, is he already suddenly is he pulling the phone out, or is he just dropping
He's
in the middle of dropping the bags?
He's dropping the guys and he's taking the phone out. He's got the phone in his hand, he's taking it out.
Okay.
So he's getting a heavily reduced dice pool.
Okay. I guess
He's also doing celerity actions. He's like, fuck this.
Yeah, I'll take a couple of celerity actions as well. Throw a point into strength and dex while I'm at it. And fuck it, let's go for a disarm the phone off of him and grapple.
Okay, so what's your main action? First off, is it disarm?
First option is disarm.
Okay, so roll for it. I can't remember all the details of that one, so if you remember it yourself.
Actually, it's not even. Sorry, you can't split actions and do celerity at the same time, so I'm going to have to stick with the split action.
Actually, that's true. So he's just doing full defensive as his main action, but he's getting the phone out. So what are you doing? Are you just disarming, or?
It's a disarm and a grapple.
Okay, roll for it. So.
And disarm in dex. Would you like? What would you like? Let's go for brawl.
Yeah.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Is that more than his strength?
Well, he's trying to dodge this, so.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to spend a willpower point because he really.
It's combat.
Oh yeah, shit. That's sorry, completely slipped my mind. Sorry, too much New York. So yeah, no, he's got. How many successes do you get today? God damn it.
Oh
Shit!
But he's
You-
still.
Barely get the phone out of his hand. I mean, this guy. Salvador's actually going crap. This guy's actually good. And Salvador doesn't usually do that. You've got Rafat backing up, watching the entrance. In case he gets past you, but you're barely getting the phone out of his hand.
Okay, so after a little bit of struggle, I managed to get the phone out of his hand, and now we're going for the grapple.
Okay. Right, so.
While he does that, I would like to point out I got 1 success on reading his mind.
I don't know what it depends on his temporary willpower. What's his temporary willpower?
His temporary willpower is 7 currently.
Wait, I botched.
Yeah, no. Leon looks into his mind, and you can kind of get a feeling of panic off this, but it's starting to reverberate off yourself and him. So next round, you're gonna have to make a willpower check to break it, because right now you're starting to panic.
Right.
So you're gonna have to make a willpower check to actually, we'll say courage. Courage is more appropriate. To basically or self-control. Self-control is the best for that. To basically break.
You keep dropping my dice pool, man.
No. Whereas now the Hannibal, looking into this guy's mind, you're just getting the image of it. This guy's mind. It's clearly he's just kind of like, oh fuck, and he's kind of like there's almost kind of a shock that he got the phone out of my hand. This guy's clearly not used to fighting anybody near his caliber, because, as I said, Salvador is barely getting this guy, so he's really good. I can't understand it enough.
Okay.
But he's just kind of shocked, like, oh fuck, I'm up against some serious shit right now.
Well,
So-
nothing worth transmitting to Salvador.
Yeah. No, only one success, you're just getting the top thoughts kind of a thing. Let's see. Salvador.
5 successes on the grab.
Okay, no, Yeah, you're grabbing him, and you're basically you're slamming him against the wall, and his first reaction is like he just taps the wall, and he stops resisting.
Good move. No reason for this to get unpleasant. Don't bother trying to have a little run. We got quite a few people around. How about me and you going to have a chat with a few of my friends?
Sure, seems better than the alternatives.
Cool.
Are you letting him go, or what are you doing?
I'll drop him to the ground.
Yeah, he'll stand up and he'll put his hand out. Kilo, by the way, and yourself.
Salvador.
Okay, where are we going?
Just going to have a chat in that car just around the corner over there.
Mind if I put those in the back of the van rather than leave them in the corridor?
Oh, no, that's a good point. We shouldn't let corpses be lying around.
Yeah, he will actually toss them into the back of the van. He'll close the door and lock it, but he's not making any move to run. Especially when he sees Rafat and a few other people. A stream of cats. Meow. He's thinking snarling at you.
I throw the phone at I underarm throw the phone at Rafat.
Yeah.
Alright. Leon's going to jump back to his body now, and to say, all right, well, we caught. I'm guessing this is actually the Somebody. Wonderful.
That's nice.
So we cut forward to when everyone gathers again.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sure.
Mine was an uneventful funeral. I was expecting a horrible monster to pop out the casket or something.
Well, at some point, the guys might kind of go, "Holy shit! You sent this many people to come take me in."
He's really surprised. He's more. He doesn't seem surprised about the many people as much as he's kind of looking at someone like, "Fuck, he's good. Good enough to be a threat."
Kevin?
Yep.
I just get a notepad from my pack. I just look at the Samidi and write my notes.
Yep.
Whatever I see.
He
Right
smiles
on,
at you.
Here's my new friend, guys. Please be nice, and I'm sure he'll be more than willing to answer your questions. I will be back in a moment.
Shit, you're as ugly as me. The Nosferatu keeps kind of makes a circle around him, kind of take a look at him from every angle, so that every day you see somebody in Australia. So he looks over to Leon Harris. Would you like to lead the interrogation then, I suppose?
Now,
Interrogation? Why did it have to be interrogation? This is a simple talk. Conversation. You know, we're all friends here.
Just wonder, is he using Mask of a Thousand Faces?
He's still using it, yeah.
Yeah, so only Hannibal and Salvador actually see through that.
I could probably roll again.
Oh, how we wish he'd obfuscate 4 now.
Won't help you.
Yeah, it wouldn't help now. Like,
Well,
you know,
it's
it's like,
still a resisted roll.
yeah. Well, I'll be honest. I've only ever seen one of your bloodline, and that at a distance. And I never really expected to run into one so far from the Caribbean.
Get around. Like the sun, the sea, and the sand. Mostly the last 2.
Yeah. I am the prince of this city.
Oh, well, I'd like to present myself, or is it a little bit too late? Sorry about that, was under contract. Or I am, so.
Well, it's about the people you're under contract to who have also not presented themselves to the city. In fact, I had to find out about them from the source of someone else who at least was willing to search out representatives from the city to introduce himself. So, how solid is this contract with your friends?
They've kept up their end, so I'll keep up my end.
And does that prevent you from telling us any details about them?
More or less.
Right. Yeah. That's about what I figured. But, well, considering that we have a number of people here from clans that are skilled in the use of Dominate, I suppose it's just a matter of finding one who has stronger blood than you. Or you could point out that I doubt your contract includes you being loyal unto potentially dying.
Oh, hold on. Like, I didn't present myself. But, yeah, when your duly representative Gurge, he's kind of looking at Salvador, came over, I surrendered.
I happen to
If you want to exile me from the city...
No. I happen to watch an actually... well, let's see here. Your first response was, of course, to attempt to go for your cell phone and then to start defending yourself, it seemed.
Understandable in the situation.
Well, that's... To be perfectly honest, the rumors I've heard about the Nagaraja do not place them as friendly to the Camarilla. And if you are effectively aiding someone who is a danger to the city, that makes you their accomplice.
You can roll intimidate because he's not just gonna break under something. But yeah, you deserve a shot. Let's see.
Can I assume that I've actually got the intimidate that I posted and still hasn't?
Yeah, you can assume.
Oh,
Do you want to spend a willpower and activate your status of Prince for extra dice?
Yeah, you know what? I will do that. I'll spend willpower to
Prince.
activate my status of Prince, so that gives me 9 dice.
Okay,
Difficulty is his current willpower.
Yep.
7. More successes mean more. Did I give him that merit? No, I did
I
not.
know that.
So,
Okay. I don't think they're working with this bat.
You don't think?
that much.
I honestly don't think so.
So they're just going after Mr. Who's been acknowledged as a member of my domain.
Look, all I've done is help them get in contact with a little bit of resources and pick up the odd Happy Meal. I haven't killed anybody. I haven't hurt anybody part of your domain. That's all, voodoo shit on their end.
Right, right. In that case, a couple choices. You could, since I assume you can contact them, you can convince them to present themselves and explain themselves. Or if you think that is an unlikely result, you can simply tell us where to find them and then simply say, and possibly even give them a warning after, a reasonably long time that I'm very sorry, I had no choice.
I'd be willing to contact them to possibly arrange a meeting. I can't guarantee if they'll come or not.
Yes, and if they don't come, well, let's just say that we have a number of people who are very good at finding people. Myself included.
If you want to earn some brownie points before you make the phone call, you could direct a couple of our people to make sure they know you're a runner and leave you hightailed.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Not being very cooperative here,
No,
If I was very cooperative, I'd never get hired again.
He's got a point there.
No, and I actually do understand. I do understand your position on that. And now I'm going to so first off, I'm going to do a quick attempt at telepathy towards Hannibal to send him a quick message. I assume this is sufficient.
Oh, I'm your radio.
Yeah. So I'm basically sending the message to Hannibal. You might want to attempt to read his mind here in about a moment.
I was planning on doing that.
And he turns to the somebody and says, "So of course, I understand if you're a little worried about giving all of the details as to where we could find them or even the general location, especially since we have a number of clans here renowned for their skills at, say, telepathy."
Ba-bom! This is why I come into play. Rolling for telepathy. Current willpower was 7, right?
don't you still have it active?
Well, I think if I want to read his mind again, I would need to do it again.
Yeah, he does have to do it.
Yeah, but it'll be good for next month.
Do you need to use the willpower again then?
Yeah, it cost me another willpower point.
His conscience roll has failed. Sure, he'll intentionally put the information in his mind.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah, even with the intimidation check, he doesn't quite have code of honor as a merit, but it's still like, yeah.
But it's more along the lines of, I understand that he has to keep a certain reputation, and this is a way whereby he can give us the information while keeping his reputation.
Yep. You get a image of a building which, actually, how would he put it? You get a street address, and then it would basically see a road sign for the actual road, and then you see a building. It looks like it's actually a apartment building.
All right. Okay. That's.
You also, with your successes, he really doesn't like giving you this information, but he doesn't want to die. It's pretty much, yeah. He's reluctant to betray his employer, but he doesn't feel like he's got any chance. And at the end of the day, he's still kindred and therefore evil.
Hannibal just, as he does this, kind of stares at the guy, takes a step closer, tries to look up to the guy who's probably a lot bigger than him and taller.
Yeah, he's actually built really heavily.
I can barely see the guy's eyes, probably. Nah, it's okay, I like him. He turns on his heel and walks back, and while he does so, kind of gives a nod to Leon Harris.
And then I, okay, if you'll give us a moment, we'll return your phone to you so you can call them and ask them to join. And I'm fairly certain that if they choose not to explain themselves, we can track them down.
Ravat has been busy taking down all the numbers in the phone book and the call logs and making quick notes of it, because I can't really fully PC him, but he's working away now. He's been nice and busy in the background.
Oh yes. And still have some more successes to so I'll just send to Hannibal. It's like send that information to myself and Salvador, and that will that way at least, and then find a safe place to sit down and track them.
Got you covered, my prince. I'm gonna be a good lapdog. Wait, do you want me to send it to them via telepathy?
Yeah. No. This was again a telepathic sending.
Oh, okay.
To you, which is basically saying, send myself and Salvador, any details you picked up, and then go check out the place yourself once you've got a good place to sit down.
Okay. I can't do it right now because I would be really low willpower.
Actually, you don't have to spend willpower to send, only to read.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that then. You want me to make a roll, Kevin, then for it?
No, say you're fine. Don't.
Yeah. Hannibal will, project the image of the road sign and the building into Leon Harris's mind, and Salvador's. He kind of adds something nice for Salvador as well. Just, a very creepy old cellar somewhere in the middle of nowhere with some dead animals in there and some slurping sound in the background.
Yay.
Or as Hannibal calls it, Tuesday night. He doesn't actually eat the stuff down there, he just drags small children down. and forces them to watch him like eating puppies. They just like, dominate, make him forget. I got my willpower point back. I'm happy. Okay. So who is staying here with this guy and who is going away?
Oh, I'm gonna take my leave.
Well, I at least will be staying here because
Just put it in the side chat if you're going away.
and if anyone wants, and and I'll probably also send pass the images on along myself to a few other people, probably to Creed, Doolittle, Donovan, and Bagger.
Fair enough.
So it's like, so that way it's like, here's where they are. If you want to sit there and watch against them, go ahead. Hannibal's going to be scouting it out.
So is Salvador going, or is he staying with this gentleman?
I suppose I should stay with this guy for the moment until I get called down to go and sort out the apartment. I should probably deal with the current matter.
You could still potentially bring this guy relatively close by.
True. Yeah.
before you make one call.
Yeah, we could do that.
Is saying anything more to him before you give him the phone?
It's like, I have no particular thing to say, but if anyone else has something to say, I actually will say this, like, unrelated to your current contract. Are you intending to stay in the city for a while, or leave once business is concluded?
Usually don't stick around places.
Well, so long as you cause no more problems. I don't, and you've broken. About the only thing that you can that you've really done is not immediately present yourself. And hey, it's entirely possible you didn't know who to do that to. So, I will provisionally allow you to be in the city until your business is concluded, which I assume will be very soon.
Looks like.
Let me know when you open up the contracts again. Might have a chat with you in the future.
We'll see. So, it's not too long after that you give him the phone. He is going. He's going to spend a willpower point because he thinks he's more likely to get out of this if he can convince your man. Okay, 2 successes. He's trying to convince him. He's like, I'm sitting here with the prince and half the court, I reckon, or maybe the whole thing, depends how big the court is. And they want to have a chat with you. Haven't told them where you are, but they seem to have cased things out pretty well, and they seem to be willing to talk. And then he's just kind of nodding his head and just kind of going,
All specs here, and you hear the other side of the conversation.
Oh yeah, same here.
Okay, go over it.
What's the base difficulty?
The difficulty is going to be, it's pretty quiet, but you're near him. The base difficulty is going to be 7.
Oh, well, that's
Minus
against a 4.
all successes on my front.
Okay.
So probably only 5 successes in this case. Oh well.
Let's see, 5 successes. That's no problem. Yeah, you can hear there's a woman's voice on the other side. There's some small amount of cursing, but she's like, "Fine, let me talk to him." You can hear like the hand being covering the receiver, kind of hissing, kind of whispering at people to get the fucking shit and start packing. Um, but he kind of hands Leon Harris the phone.
Am I speaking to the Nagaraja?
Yes.
So, what business do you have in my city?
Just trying to pick up a few things. I haven't tried to disrupt your peace at any point.
And among those few things, would that include a Mr. Abdul Fattah?
Not that I'm aware.
Because he seems to be very aware of your presence in the city.
Oh, him. You don't think she knew the name? Well, I didn't want to. You probably shouldn't necessarily trust him.
Well, yes, but I probably shouldn't necessarily trust you either.
That may be, but he is far older and therefore a much greater threat than myself. And he's a walking masquerade breach.
Well, actually, he's pretty much got that handled. But as to the rest, he, as soon as he was aware there was a ruling body of the city, presented himself to members of the court in a fashion, and has since then sought to make all his dealings with the city above board.
Well, I'd be quite willing to have a sit down and present myself as well.
Well, if you think you can convince me that you deserve to stay in the city, we might be able to talk. Otherwise, well, at the very least, the fact that you were willing to talk to me and as well as your friend here, that means that we're not taking you down with extreme prejudice.
I know a rather interesting restaurant. She gives you an address if you wish to meet there.
One moment, turn to Salvador. And turn to Salvador, who are you listening?
Mm-hmm.
Should we go meet them?
Sounds like fun.
All right. Several of us will meet you there.
Hi, Prince.
Do I have your word that if you don't want me in the city, you'll let me make my exit?
If you are willing to leave without any bloodshed and not return, in that case, yes.
Of course, of course.
And of course, you realize if you do return, in that case, well, it will be far less polite. But yes, we'll meet you. We'll meet with you there. And hands the phone back to the Samedi.
My Prince.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, not might be. They are right. But the problem. I call it a problem, but well.
To be perfectly honest, whoever we decide to side with, we're going to have some measure of a problem.
Okay.
This isn't a case where there's a clear cut. This side is good for us. This side is bad for us. However, there is a this side has so far dealt well with us, and that is something that we would like to reward, so that others may understand how to deal with us in the future. Anyways,
Going to the restaurant.
now Leon is obviously.
Yep,
Who
yep.
do you want with you, my prince?
Honestly, if anyone wishes to go, they're welcome to. I doubt we're going to have anything that I need to keep quiet from the general court.
Perhaps, okay. Well, some of us should be waiting rings. I'm not going to have Rafat and then talking to going
Oh,
between
yeah.
the two characters. So
Yeah.
Rafat will be...
Keep an eye out on. Yeah, keep an eye out on the. Make sure someone's keeping an eye out on their apartment, and some people keeping an eye out on, the restaurant. You never know if they might get a truckload of people with machine guns.
Okay. Someone wants to be there. There's a side room. It's semi-private, but there's like a fish tank separating, but people can see in. So you couldn't really hear what's going on in the room well unless you're like right up against the fish tank or the door or something. But you can see into the room quite well.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go in, there's a woman there. There's two rather heavy-looking guys, quite tanned, by the door, and two more inside. She looks like the picture linking in the side chat there, and similarly dressed.
Ah, well. So, you sound like you have a case to make to me.
Well, this Abdul Fattah might not be making everything entirely clear. Now, I'm a businesswoman, and there are certain resources here, but how to put this? He's working an angle with you. Of course he is. I'm working an angle with you, but has he told you why he wants to be here?
He has given some general ideas. He's not gone into specifics.
Well, there was a location where there have been lupines in the city, which was attacked some time ago by another party, or possibly him. I'm not quite sure.
Not by him.
He is seeking to harvest the spirits there, bend them to his will. Some of them are more potent than normal spirits.
Yes, I noticed.
Now, I could offer suitable compensation, but I don't think he doesn't understand the ways of the modern world. It's only a matter of time before he causes a masquerade breach, and if you were to work with me and he was to leave, I could manage the affairs here, and you and your court could be appropriately compensated.
Hmm. Well, I can understand the things you're saying. Hmm. Seeing as I have personally been to the former holy place of the Lupines. Well, there are a couple questions, since from what I've heard of your bloodline, you are often members of the Sabbat, although your associate tells me that he doesn't believe you are. So, what is your political affiliation?
I am independent. It has been about 50 years since I was a member of the Sabbat, and I do not look upon those times fondly.
Um, can't say I've really changed my affiliations in the past 50 years. But he himself also is not fond of the Sabbat. He's not fond of a number of people. Not quite sure what not sure exactly what issue he has with the Giovanni. That said, it partly just comes down. It does in part come down to the fact that he was here first. He did present himself. I'm not entirely certain how long you've been in here, but I and a few others were aware in general terms of your, shall we say, of your attack, of your warring at removes.
Now, I wouldn't be too quick to praise him. I would suspect he
Oh, of
probably
course.
knew how to contact you. He probably knew some ways, but or at least didn't make particularly much effort. It was probably when it seemed like you were going to attract his attention for exactly the same reason why I didn't. One, was hoping it wouldn't be noticed. Secondly, explaining matters to representatives of Camarilla, well, opportunists might tip off to Giovanni, and they have far more resources to bring to bear on this.
That's quite true. But, now, to be perfectly honest, if you had made an effort to, find out who was in charge and present yourself, I might be more inclined towards you. But as it stands, he did make an effort, however small. He did introduce himself. He did say, "This is who I am. Here's I'm in town because I've been in town for a certain period of time, and wish to of course follow all of the rules and traditions of the Camarilla while I'm here within the city."
Do you want to give me anybody there want to give me a perception empathy check?
Sure.
Dun, 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 dun,
Okay,
dun.
not positive for you on that roll.
2 successes.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Now,
Nope.
he is a lot of aspects, so.
Nice.
Leon, she's scared shitless. Anybody even got a success? Her hand, she's tried she puts it on her table. Her hand actually is shaking. She is really scared. But Leon, anybody who got 4 more successes knows she's not scared of you guys. Something else is scaring her, and things aren't going well here, so she's getting afraid. Well, it seems like you will not be having me take up residence in the city any longer. I take it I should leave.
Yes, but if you leave peacefully, we will have no quarrels. For my part, not as Prince, but as an individual, I hope whoever you report to will not view this as too great a failure.
Yeah, you want to roll again there?
Sure. Oh, look, I'm pretty sure an insightful applies here, so that if
Okay,
so, yeah.
Anyone with 6 successes will pick up.
I
If
got
you don't
some.
get 6 successes, it's actually very hard to read her. She's obviously put her guard back up. Leon, however, at least, yeah, she knows this is going to be seen as a failure. You can kind of pick up. She knows she's going to be punished severely for this. But although she's afraid, actually, with your previous, although she's afraid of the person, she has warm, fuzzy feelings towards them. Somebody's got a blood bond. So that she'll send up as well. It has been unfortunate we couldn't come to better arrangements. But I guess I better start packing. With that, she'll stand up, she'll give a slight bow, and she'll begin making her exit. The guards will go with her. And, well, I believe I have a message from somebody who's doing this around.
Wow, these people are so polite.
Yeah, you shut up at half the damn court. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
No. I'm just making a comment to the prince. Oh, they're really polite.
Yes. Well.
No, quite what I expected for Nagaraja. I was expecting something a little bit more, voodoo.
Yeah. To be perfectly honest, so was I. And as Prince, I've got to make various matters of policy. I really do hope she doesn't come to too much pain for her failure.
What was she after?
Apparently, well, I can definitely understand why the Harbinger doesn't want any of the Giovanni. The King's Park is completely full of ghosts after the destruction of the Lupine holy site.
Yeah, I heard that bit. What was her interest? She said, but Mr. Skullboy was interested in. She didn't say what she was.
Oh, it was pretty much obvious that that's also what she was interested in.
Okay, both after the same objectives, trying to accomplish the same things.
Both of them were asked to make sure that Giovanni didn't get wind of this.
Okay.
So,
And you realize as soon as she leaves, the Giovanni are going to get wind of this, right?
quite possibly, yeah. But given that it's very likely at that point we will also have a ban on Giovanni entering the city, unless they wish to enter with enough force that it would likely gain the response of more than a single city. I doubt they're going to try to enter.
Well, we'll see how things go, my prince.
Should we put Hannibal after them? Because they might be lying right now.
Ooh, I want someone at least to get the expression on their face when they, I know, make a phone call and report this back to their boss.
Actually, here, give me a moment. Hannibal should currently watching their location. I could probably head over there and let him know exactly what's going on. So, and now I'm going to roll perception and awareness, and I think wait, do I actually have to spend a willpower for psychic projection?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright, so fortunately for this, a 9 would suffice. So, jump on out to where Hannibal is and basically go, basically say, alright, they said they will head out peacefully. Possibly they'll be a little bit worried. But that's from whoever they've got in charge.
Oh, peacefully. Oh, what a disappointment. You know we're being used as tools here, right, my prince?
Oh, of course. But that's okay, because it's a two-way street.
Well, okay, well, that's good to know. With your permission, I would like to keep my eye on this place for a few more nights to make sure they're really leaving.
Salvador, among other things, would love it if you could catch the look on their face whenever they call to their superiors and let them know they've unfortunately failed.
Well, I'm going to pick on them every waking moment, you can be sure of that.
Alright. Just be careful. Apparently they do have aspects. We don't know if any of them have enough to see you.
The embodiment of safety.
Of course.
Don't you worry, my prince.
And then
I'll let you know when something comes up that is out of the ordinary.
And then Leon will head back to his body. It's like, Hannibal will most likely be happy to share you that look on their face if he manages to glimpse it.
Good, good. So, time for victory waffles and cake?
Yes.
I hear grasshoppers have got a lot of interest in cooking interesting things.
Ah. Well, we'll have to see what wares they have.
No, lead the way.
Yeah. So I imagine mostly everyone is gathering up again a short time later, perhaps a trench, perhaps somewhere else.
Definitely, Neeraj is going to be sitting on that apartment in a car. He's going to sit there for the rest of the night.
Okay.
Well, I'll probably send out text messages to everyone involved saying, they say they're leaving peacefully. Hannibal's going to be watching the place for a few nights.
Disappointment.
But yeah, so for those of us who are not currently out on stakeout, sure, yeah, back at the trench.
Okay. Right. So, can I get either a contact roll from Trent, unless I don't think you have a specific police contact.
No, I don't have specifically the contact, but I do have 2 points of contact.
Yeah, you can roll. We're gonna say difficulty 9.
I
It's
mean,
normally 8.
Even if this fails, I'm just gonna have the license plates numbers.
Yeah, you'll have the license plate, so we're just trying to find out anything about them. Either context roll, or you can start hacking computers. No. Yeah,
And my computers don't have.
You get the numbers, though. You get the numbers of
Awesome.
a bunch of cars in the area. So, after a little while, everyone gathers up again. So it seems like the night's activities have, thankfully on this occasion, lacked bloodshed.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I was kind of expecting a bit more, and I think if it weren't for Salvador's quick actions, we might have had some.
Just another relaxing evening.
I'm gonna refresh here because now my thing's freaking out.
Okay. You fix it and do little, as well as everybody else involved did get a text saying half an hour passing. You don't have to stand there talking to cats all day.
No, we're not doing that. We're letting them go. We're returning back to the trench. Apparently, the job didn't really require us. We're happy to stand there and help, quote.
When it comes down to it, Leon fully expected this to end in bloodshed, and he's very glad it didn't.
You know what?
Who expected them to be just so damn reasonable?
And polite.
Yeah. What is it? Okay, so previously I had jokingly said, "What is it with necromancers and being in the spot?" Now, apparently, all the necromancers out there are somewhat polite.
I'll be back in a few. Going to grab a cigarette outside.
Maybe it's the thing that they're polite while you're still alive, but when you're dead, you're just a tool to be used.
Fair enough. Good lesson here. Be polite. Don't die.
Or at least if you die, don't leave behind a ghost.
Make sure all your affairs are nicely in order, just so that when you're eventually ripped from this mortal coil, you don't have any regrets.
Or get yourself diablerized, from what I hear.
Yeah, I would not advise that.
No.
I'm still not this.
In any case, everyone who, even if it turns out your specific aid was not needed, attempted to aid will definitely be getting a reward of some kind. I will work out the details later, but and if any of you have any particular things you would like, feel free to let myself or Hannibal know once Hannibal has stopped staking out the place. Or alternatively, you can let your Primogen know and they can tell me. Oh, which reminds me, since we've currently got 2 of the 3 gangrel in here, your clan now has a Primogen seat. I'd recommend that you meet at some point to discuss who exactly should be Primogen in hand.
Prince, did I hear you correctly? We have a full Primogen seat with all the duties and responsibility and recognition by this court?
Yes.
As well as the Prince, the Primogen Council appreciates the efforts made by the Camarilla gang around the city so far. Not just yourselves, but carrying on the good work Anton did in helping liberate the city.
All right, then. We'll make all due effort to present to you our best candidate for you to accept.
Of course.
He's going to go ahead and go over to Mr. Green and say, you heard them. Well, shoot.
let's talk a little bit more. Maybe your current mate will be interested after hearing this.
Yeah, we need to gather everybody up and have another sit down, have another one of those meetings.
Well, I'm sure it will result in something that benefits both your clan and the city as a whole.
It's a trap.
So
This
I think
harbinger, what said he plans and does something.
Oh yes, no. At some point, I'm sure we'll discuss his plans dealing with Kings Park at further length.
I'm always sort of picture in this, but well, visit the clan of the Camarilla, or even if it was a Sabbath, I would try to understand. But independents are more different than us, Camarilla.
You'd be surprised. You really would.
It's a powerful creature, and Giovanni has always made allies, even if they don't respect the laws. At least some of them, they were welcomed in some cities.
No, to be perfectly honest, if we hadn't had a Harbinger or or the Nagaraja already coming into town, I might have welcomed some of the Giovanni. However, the Giovanni, it's as if you have someone who is given great artistic skill, and the only thing they do with it is compose dirty limericks. I mean, at the very least, you can say, well, at least they're using it. But whereas I can think of one case where there was someone with great skill who did compose dirty poems, he also composed some of the best music ever.
Remember that you told me you have ended the life. There was a hunt for Gangrel Tarkus. Well, in the beginning of the city, well, he was needed, or well, he doesn't need it, but well, it wasn't a problem. And then, well, he's a problem. Isn't this powerful creature is our problem now in the city? I don't want to disrespect anybody, my princess. Don't misunderstand me. I was just, as honesty, I am trying to see a bigger picture, and I don't. Well, we are what we are, but he is not just like us. He is more powerful. He is a harbinger of Skull, and he's an elder.
Yes. And let me put it this way. Part of there's a certain, and hey, I'm not saying there's nothing to what you're saying, but part of a useful way of running a city is making sure that those who behave correctly get rewarded for behaving correctly.
Then I presume the Gangrel Tarkus didn't behave.
that individual, which claimed to be the Gangrel Tarkus, it seems that although there was a Gangrel Tarkus, he was replaced by a Zamiski of the Sabbat, known as Abel. He masqueraded as the Tarkus, and, well, eventually we found out about some of his ploys. He attempted to corrupt members of the court, and he met with some amount of success. But that has been dealt with.
Yes.
I thought
Sorry, you're breaking up a lot. I can't make out what you're saying half the time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like Victor just said that I need to speak with my sire about this. At least he needs to know that Autarchus wasn't Autarchus at all.
Well, it might. The previous Autarchus, who I believe was here prior to the Anarch takeover, may have in fact been an Autarchus. But
Kevin,
or a
out of
Gangrel,
character,
rather.
do I remember?
Yeah, no,
remember
there was a Gangrel Tarkus there in your time.
Okay.
And he was there even after you left, because, well, he was a lot tougher to oust than you and your sire.
Oh shit. That Gangrel was also quite powerful.
The Shamasei
He was
have
there
a few
because,
dirty
yeah.
Well, that gangrel wrecked my car. That gangrel is dead.
That kindred was a poor imitation of a Gangrel. Enough to fool us at a distance, but over long term, we knew it wasn't right.
You see two true Gangrel in here, who's in the Camarilla. He kind of smiles, looking at Dr. Doolittle.
Yeah. Dr. Doolittle just sort of nods. Yeah. Totally. I can only say that from my short time here, this city has been fairly hospitable to me and my own. I greatly appreciate it. But if there's nothing else for us to do, I'm very, very glad that this particular operation didn't require a lot of violence. I will simply go ahead and take my leave, take my coterie make, and return back to our own little domain. If I remember correctly, I have a few tadpoles to take care of.
Of course. I'll be looking forward to the next time I run into you.
Rafat opens up a water cooler. The Primogen Council does appreciate the efforts and willingness to help of all involved. Some of you might not have done necessarily actions you were expecting to tonight, but we recognize your willingness, and some of you obviously had a bit more opportunity to shine. But Rafat will actually hand out the water cooler to anyone who wishes a blood bag.
I'll go ahead and take the drink. I'll go ahead and take your hospitality, my Mr. Dutante. And the matter is accepted, but I then must leave.
Oh, of course. Right, so I think we'll end the scene there.
Mm-hmm.